Hey guys, TerrorPUP here, and I wanted to do a how-to video to follow up to the blog that I posted a couple days ago. Okay. Um, as you guys know, I've been playing around with my Banana-Pi M5. I've been really enjoying it. And as you guys know, I tend to use Armbian a lot. And this video is to show you how to flash Armbian onto the eMMC, okay? And it's pretty straightforward. So the first thing I wanted to show you guys is Banana-Pi has a great wiki page. And when I was trying to understand how to use their eMMC, I went over here to read it. And it's not bad, but for someone like me who is not you know, hey, I've been doing Linux now for 26 years, and I'll be the first to tell you that I'm still learning stuff. So when I was going through this, I was reading how they use their BP tool and how they set up stuff, and I was like, this is cool and everything, but it's a little bit difficult for beginners. So I came down to here and I was reading on how to install the eMMC, and I was like, oh, okay. And, they're talking about using this, the eMMC block 0, uh, which is fine if you're using something like a UART cable and you're coming from Mobile Xterm or Minicom or something like that, and you are going to burn the image remotely. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to make it where someone who has never worked with a Banana-Pi be able to get it up and running off of the eMMC very simple. So if you look at my page, if you scroll down, first thing we had to do is we got to go burn an SD card that we're going to boot up from. The boot process for the Banana-Pi is that it's going to read the SD card first and then the eMMC. So I went ahead for this example so that I can show you guys how to do it. Is I'm using Xface Desktop, and I went ahead and downloaded this and burned it to an SD card using Etcher. And if I need to show you guys how to do that, I can. But today we're talking about the eMMC. So once I got that there, I put it into my Banana-Pi and I powered up. And with that, I went ahead and booted up my Banana-Pi, as you can see here. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is we need to go back to Armbian. So now we're on our SD card, and as my blog recommends, I would use something greater than 32 gigs, 32 gigs or greater than. And the reason being is so that way you can save the images. Now I'm going to save everything into my home directory. And the reason being is I'm actually working on a script, and I'll show you in my blog here in a minute how this is going to be very useful. But open up Firefox, go to Armbian's page, Banana-Pi-M, like you see up here, and then do a right mouse click, and it doesn't matter what part of the world you are, right mouse click, and do copy link. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to open up a terminal, because what we're going to do is we're going to do a wget, and we're going to do a capital O, and then type out the file name that you want to call it. So I want to call this Armbian bookworm, so I know that it's Debian 12 xface dot image, okay, dot xz, and then I'm going to right mouse click and paste my URL in there. Now I want to note, let's take a look at this real quick. So this is saying, hey, redirect, because I want to go to a fast site. And notice that it's not downloading a specific image up here. It's saying, hey, grab the latest Debian 12 xface image. And then down here, you can actually see that we're going to be running the latest version, which is Armbian 23.8.1. And it's saving it as this file. Okay, this is great because maybe later on, if you have, let's say you're setting up several of these M5s to do Docker, and you're wanting to use the eMMC to get the boards up and running, you could script this out to write it out as a script. And as you can see, we're downloading pretty well, a good decent speed. And, you know, I don't have like Korean fast internet. I'm pretty happy that I have 256 down and 25 up. I know some of the people will be laughing that, you know, that's kind of slow, but, you know, it works. All right, so this to prove that it did download it with the file name, and the capital O matters, okay? Because that we're telling wget to take whatever they send us and rename it with this output, okay? So there is our image. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type XZ, which is the compression that they use. They don't use zip, so that's kind of another reason I wrote this blog, is I want to be able to write out the image, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is a D for decompress, V for verbose, and if you start typing out, usually you can tab it out, but let's just right mouse click and do a copy and do a paste, because this is easy. You know, we're trying to do this as an average user, and we're going to hit enter. Now we're decompressing the file, and this will show the percentage. Now, while this is going on, I'm going to go ahead and open up a new tab. Now, in my article, I said, hey, run fdisk. And fdisk is a great utility because you can create your partitions. But what we're going to use it for is we're going to list out the number of disk on this Banana-Pi. Okay, so sudo fdisk -l. -l does your list. Okay, and we're going to type in our password. Okay, and there, everything that's been written out. So on the wiki that I showed you earlier, it was saying, hey, that's the image that's there. Well, if you boot up with the SD card like I'm doing, your eMMC block 0 is the SD card. And trust me, if you follow their example, guess what you're going to do? You're going to overwrite the SD card. So here is our eMMC. The Banana-Pi M5 comes with 16 gigs of onboard eMMC embedded media module, okay? And we are going to write to that. But I'm going to do something that's a little bit different from my blog, because I'm going to go up real quick and I'm going to go to System. I'm going to go to Gpart. And the reason being is, before I did this video, I was testing out a script And I actually wrote the image that we're going to write to the disk. So when you run any programs in X that needs a root access, it will automatically bring up sudo. So type in your password. Okay. And here in a second, gpart will come up. Okay. And gpart it's a nice GUI, okay, graphical user interface GUI that allows you to see what's going on. So see, this is my SD card, and we're going to go look at this, okay? And right now it's saying there's nothing allocated, but I just want to make sure. So I'm going to do I'm going to make sure, well, there's nothing there. So I guess I did clear it off. Anyway, so since nothing's there, okay, we're just going to leave it alone. Exit out. We're going to go check our decompression. We're still decompressing. And this will take another second. Okay. Now, again, this is the latest and greatest. So as you can see, these were all released on August 31st. I may go try Cinnamon again. GNOME 3 was beautiful. You guys have heard me, with being a little bit opinionated, that I don't like the current version of GNOME because it's actually their attempt to take on Metro. But if you want to feel like the old days, run Cinnamon, run Mate. Very nice user-friendly interfaces, and you can get the Wayland drivers that everybody's liking. So i3, if you want to run something crazy, i3 desktop is one of those that you can run. That just has, if you've seen movies and they have these really weird looking OS interfaces, okay, it's either going to be a Mac from like in the 90s when they could put templates on it and run it, or if it's something newer, it's going to be i3 with some really cool interfaces that they're running. So we're almost done. And part of the reason I want to use the eMMC, as my article states, eMMC is fast. Okay, very fast. James Chamber, and I will go back and I'll add a link to his tester. But James Tremble, who's been out for a long time working with computer boards, has a nice little script that will show you the read and writes of your eMMC. And so if you want to test it out, you can. So we're still going along. Okay. And one of the things, while we're waiting on this, let me bring up some of the things I'm working on. If a new tab will open up. We opened several new tabs. If you go to my web page, one of the things I'm trying to do to help you guys out is if you whoops, go over to blogs, and there's the blog I wrote. Okay, one of the things I'm working on that will I'm in the process of testing, but I'm writing a script that you can put onto your SD card. So if you want to keep something that will allow you to burn other images, all you have to do is uncomment the line, and if you want to erase the eMMC module, you can uncomment these lines here, and it will erase it. It does take a while, and if you notice, I don't call it the bookworm X face. I just call it Armbian image, make it simple. So you select which one, and it will go write it, and it will tell you that you need to reboot it. So hopefully we're almost done. But anyway, this is some of the stuff I'm doing to help you guys out. Anybody who does bash scripting, if you know better ways that I can do this, let me know. I'm going to create a repo on my GitLab for you guys so that you can download any of these scripts and we can do some sharing. So we should be about done. Now the next part, what I am going to do is I'm going to let it burn. I'm going to use some editing tools to make the process go a lot quicker, because we are talking about something that could take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And then once it's done, I will come back and we will do a reboot. Okay, so a little bit more to decompress. The image itself, once it's uncompressed, is about 1.4 megabytes. Okay. Sorry, 1400 megabytes. So about 1.4 gigs. Yes, I'm horrible at doing math, even though, all right. So, well, actually it's showing that the image, let's do human form, is 6 gigs in size. So that's cool. Okay, so uncompressed is 6 gigs. It was downloaded is 1 gig in 400 roughly. All right, so the next part is going to be sudo. Okay, and we are going to now write it with the dd tool. So we're going to do dd. Okay, if is the image that we're going to read. So we're going to read the Armbian bookworm X-face image, and you can type a couple letters and tab it out. OF is where we're going to write to, and again, we want to go to eMMC. Okay, block 1. Okay, and we are going to do block size 10 megs, and I don't know if that's right, but anyway, BS equals 10, status equals no expert. Okay, you want to make sure you're typing it correctly. All right, so I'm going to hit this, and we're going to use technology to make it go a little bit faster, but now we are going to be writing to our block image right after we type in our password. All right, so it is now done burning, so we're going to go ahead and shut it down. And once it's down, okay, we're going to remove the SD card. So we want to make sure it boots up with the eMMC. And I recommend you use like a small tool if you're using the case like I am. It makes it easier unless you have good fingernails that can pop it out. Now we're powering it back on. All right. Here in a second, we will finish setting it up. Putting in our root password, selecting our shell, creating our user, creating the user password. Making sure we type it correct. And because I'm plugged up to the internet, one of the great things about Armbian is it will detect that I'm in the United States. I'm going to go ahead and select English. And it should say starting desktop here in a second. Come on. There it goes. And here in a minute, we will see X-Face. And the last thing I want to do real quick is just I want to show you guys that I am on the eMMC. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up Gparted again. And you'll see that there is no SD card this time. Okay. And there's my eMMC. So we're running on that. So again, this was a simple guide just to show you guys how to write Armbian to the unit. So I will have inside the video itself links back to my website so you can follow along. And please, if you like the video, give it a like. If you like what I do, give it a subscribe. And there is more stuff to come, so please hang around. And trust me, I'm learning, and what I'm learning, and part of the UglyScale philosophy is to give back and share with you guys. So until next time, this is TerrorPUP wishing you peace.